probably my favorite. Spring's pretty nice too.
I think Spring's my favorite.
I don't understand the naming convention for McGurk over here.
McGurk. All right. Hello, everyone. This is Jay Tolmar. I'm joined by Nessrocker. How you doing, Nessrocker?
I'm doing well.
I'm not actually sure whether we were live when we first did that, so apologies if you're hearing us twice. And today we have a race between IQ and Nick McGurk, which it looks like they're both ready, so I think we're gonna go ahead and start the countdown. So, race starts in 10. Five, four, three, two, one, and race. And wait for the restream. Yeah, McGurk's naming conventions are something else here. Bizigurth and Buddy. Of course, IQ is just shouting at the stream, pandering.
True.
Welcome back.
Temple. Oh, never mind.
Oh yeah, we have Temple is running the restream today and doing it much more professionally than I do. We can see who has the audio. We can see which one of us is talking. We can see that I'm apparently an owl. Little known fact. I'm actually streaming this from a tree.
Well, you're definitely a night owl, at least here on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm. This isn't actually that late for me. It's great that everyone's managing to join in on your various time zones.
Yeah, and thanks everyone for tuning in as well.
Hmm.
We've had a lot of people honestly show up, you know, in the chat, and it's really heartwarming. You know, you kind of think of our little insular community of scramblers, but it's nice to see some old faces, some new faces.
Mm-hmm. I believe everyone in our community has a face. I have seen no evidence otherwise. Alright, that's a Saturn Valley teleport in the liar statue, and I missed what Buzz Buzz was.
I did as well.
We'll find out next time they open up one of the things. Wow, I tried to open up the betting on channel points and it gave me a big warning. You're a moderator, don't do this. Looks like the other teleport was 3, that's always nice, getting that. And McGurk is pulling off that trick that Oxo told everyone about, sneaking in there ahead of the zombie lady.
Nice, I was wondering when we would see one of those.
Yeah, it looks like the speed meta just keeps getting slightly speedier bit by bit.
Early kid pickup here.
Early kid pickup, it's Paula. Everyone likes Paula.
Well,
you know who really likes Paula?
Ness?
Yeah, that's actually it. It's canon.
And they're just 4 sinks and a meteorite piece away from go mode.
That's true. Though those are the main things. It looks like McGurk is going to take that meteorite piece hint. Let's see if we're speedy enough to follow along. People usually mash this pretty slow because the hint is buried after quite a bit. Apple Kid has
Apple
it.
Kid.
Apple Kid. I haven't ever seen that hint before.
It's pretty interesting. I think that's the first time we've seen the meteorite hint. This tournament, at least as far as I've seen.
I've seen some, but I wouldn't be able to tell you in which match because there sure have been a lot of them.
Well, it's not like you're casting 70% of them.
I cast half of them last week, and I think I'm going to be doing 7 out of 8 this week, so... yeah, that does probably total up to about 70%. McGurk is heading off to Belch Pace, which suggests to me that we missed a Fly Honey pickup.
Yeah, I think that is fair to say.
And looks like IQ is going to go for the on-it checks instead.
I probably would as well, to be honest.
Yeah, that would also be my play. don't really need the belch base too pressingly until you pick up. Actually, they have 3, so belch base early is a lot of checks. So I can see a good case for it.
True, and yeah, you get that teleport. You know, you get a sink open. My only worry is that it's going to be later in the logic.
Yeah. Of course, this was pretty quickly unlocked in linear, so it really could be this or the sharks or maybe the police as early logic.
IQ found some repel sandwiches and no net baker.
Yeah. I also noticed on McGurk's side that Paula has quite a bit of PSI, which means that she was probably considered to be deep in the logic, despite how easy it was. So these might actually be tough enemies in here. Then again, Paula has Starstorm, so...
Yeah. That's a tipping point in her favor.
Yeah. Normally you like Paula just because she has tons of psychic points and freeze, but Starstorm is very nice. Of course, this is so this is a PSI shuffle. Which kids learn which PSI is shuffled. The Starstorm ones, because Starstorm Alpha is very, very strong. You will start out learning Starstorm Iota and Epsilon, which is what Paula has. But these are about equivalent to Rockin' Alpha and Beta. So they're still very strong PSIs.
Except for they're not speed dependent, right?
Correct. They're not speed dependent and they have less variance. So Rockin' has like 50% variance when most things in this game have 25%.
And IQ making quick work of the sharks there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see what the mayor item was, did you?
I also missed it. I was looking at chat. Yeah, the Tentacrout ask from the pile is every seed now, because you... Thank you, Slug. You'll never have fly honey in there because the Belch-based guard takes your fly honey. So what else would they ask if you're delivering? Seems like Tentacrout. Looks like IQ is also going to take that meteorite hint. So we're seeing 2 in 1 seed.
That's pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah, people are making these hint plays more and more. Actually, IQ really likes taking the hints. I've noticed him picking up the Paula hint on a few seeds, which I didn't actually think was going to be the meta at all when I added it.
I honestly think the Paula hint is pretty game-changing that it was added, because that has been a big sticking point in head-to-head races. And
yeah, like it's cool to me that it ended up being a part of the meta. I actually just added it because, like, when you're a new runner and you don't know that there's nothing in Paula's house, it's very plausible that there is. So there should be some reward for running over there and trying to do stuff.
For sure.
And IQ is heading up to also do the Belch-based check. Yeah, that police badge is actually useless since they have Belch-based access and 3'd.
Like Kirk's going back for a quick heal.
Oh, it looks like that's Jeff up there.
Nice. That'll be another item for him.
Yeah, and another after Boogie Tent. Also, lots of items up here, so we'll see if they pick up anything as well. Oh, boiled egg. And McGurk is actually equipping the slingshot onto Jeff. I like that play. A lot of people, when they have a kid with no items, will still drop those slingshots.
Yeah, they're a little unreliable because their hit chances less than base items, especially for Jeff, who, if he does have a weapon, it should be 100% hit rate.
Yeah, the hit rate for most weapons is 15 out of 16, and those all kids weapons is 13 out of 16, which is not great. And as you mentioned, Jeff has 16 out of 16 on his normal weapons.
It's like we got Guardian Digger for Belch base here.
Yeah, and they have lots of PSI options, so that should be no biggie. Yep, and goes right away. Also, there's a neat Smash graphic on this window flavor. It's got a pumpkin.
Yeah, I like the unique Smash
Yeah, I do too. There's so much work to make though that like when I was doing window flavors, I totally slacked off on doing it for most.
It looks like McGurk is choosing to open up Dusty Dunes and Foreside for himself.
Yep, and using public transit to do it. And to speed that bus up.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, like public transit's good, just needs more funding, and we can fund it with hacks. Well, I don't think using the bus is more environmentally conscious than just running, but it's close.
IQ picking up that Jeff. He's right on McGurk's heels. Hopefully, that Sharks play works out for him. If that's the case, he'll be a little ahead. Otherwise, McGurk is saving some time here by not doing it.
Yeah, I think, well, McGurk's gonna want to go back there anyway. I believe it wasn't a useful item, but McGurk doesn't know that. Teleporting leaves a really big carbon footprint if you run into something. You just have to shake off all of that soot. McGurk's trying for another kid. Could be 4 kids. Chargle's in chat, thinks it's gonna be a flying man.
Who is ready for Teddy?
I think you are. But I think it's gonna be Pooh. Looks like IQ is choosing to go to Tucson instead. And apparently I'm getting 10 points for my house.
Looks like McGurk gets caught by that first robot.
IQ is teleporting from Tucson to Tucson. I've been wondering whether this is faster. If you're gonna go pick up exit mice this way, then it probably works out.
And we saw IQ do this in an earlier race where he goes to teleport to Tucson to get that backwards exit mouse. And honestly, especially if you're planning on heading to Montoli Tower, we saw in his other race he had, it saves a ton of time.
Oh yeah, Montoli is a really giant place to have exit mice. If you run vanilla, remember that you cannot exit mouse out of Montoli building. That is something that was added in the rando. So don't go trekking all the way back to Tucson for your exit mouse. Yeah, that jump back to get the exit mice makes a lot of sense, but since he has those 2 checks in Tucson, I think running up from the south might have been quicker.
Yeah, I've not measured it myself. I just feel better about teleporting. I know if I get Foresight early, I like to walk to Dusty Dunes, check the mines, and then teleport.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it looks like McGurk's picking up a Pooh. That's going to be a Pooh, 2 items, and a open teleport check. So Pooh has the key to the shack, that's another sanctuary. Montoli has a UFO engine. That's another teleport check, and IQ just picked up the meteorite piece. Finding out that Everdread is heavily armed Pokey, that's a little spooky. And looking like he's gonna teleport away instead of doing it. And then deciding to make me look silly.
You commentator cursed yourself.
Good at that. I don't think this Poke is going to be much difficulty with all those Star Storms.
Yeah, I mean, getting that Starstorm on Polly is huge. And that's kind of what you run into when you've got the PSI shuffle. Either that you get something like Starstorm and the early game is a breeze, or you don't. And Paula has Flash, and you're like, well, what do I do?
Yeah, I actually saw some pretty good uses of spamming Flash in a earlier seed. Because if you have 2 people with Flash, then you can just keep using it, and eventually you will just win.
Tons of levels over on IQ side.
Yeah, looks like that Everdread might not have, or Everporky might not be someone with a good item, but oh, that's a zombie paper, so that is unnecessary. These might be good items in Berglund Park, though. Yeah, I'd say those are good items. We've got Hyper Beams and OK Pendants in here.
Pair of dirty socks.
Pair of dirty socks. There's only one per seed, and now we found it.
And Rapaldi axes in the Berglund Park. I don't think
Wow.
we saw those.
Yeah, well, McGurk hasn't been over here yet, so I might notice it when he comes back around, but he went four-side route. Yeah, so I'm sure IQ will be heading back there with more money when he has more money. They're both picking up teleport checks in unusual places.
IQ actually going to sleep here.
Yeah, I missed the memo on how lazy I am about making that check work. You can just duck in and out of the building for now.
It's Winters.
Winters.
It's gonna be another key item check.
Yeah, they're really moving along. This might be a fast seed. And it's a Scaraba teleport for McGurk. Wow, this place is also pretty loaded. Looks like IQ is prioritizing getting everyone some weapons for now. Probably will go back for those OK pendants later. And that was a diamond from the bubblegum saleswoman. Selling you a diamond for $1.
And I thought Ness didn't know what it was worth.
Yeah, seriously.
And we may want to talk about the tournament here a little bit. It is a double elimination tournament, head-to-head races. So this is going to be IQ and McGurk in the main bracket there, and they are the, what'd you call them? The Onet and Tucson?
Yeah, this is the ONET Championship, if you go by the big infographic that we have. That is coming up to the winners' quarterfinals after someone wins this. And then I believe we have another match right after this, which will be in the danger bracket for people who've hit their single elimination but not their double elimination. And that should be Andy Perfect, who ran earlier today, plus Attack Slug.
And Andy has burned the candle at both ends, don't you think?
Yeah, he's really, well, honestly, he's burning them at three ends, because he's also grinding practice for the Randomania, wait, not Randomania, that's the wrong group, the GDQ Hotfix Random Generation showcase on Tuesday.
Yeah, for sure.
We can have a candle with as many ends as we want.
Well, in Andy's house, apparently, his candles have at least 3 ends that we know.
Yeah, you just, you carve into the middle of the candle and you light it on fire there too, because you're living life to its fullest.
If you're familiar with a trident, it's sort of like that.
Or a candle chandelier. A candelier, if you will.
Yeah, that's a good word for it. They don't have one yet.
Yeah. I assume chandelier originally meant it's full of candles.
I mean, seems pretty obvious to me.
Yeah, burn the whole menorah. I don't think it's Hanukkah yet, but it is lunar calendar, so you never know. It can sneak up on you. And that's an eraser for IQ. They have winters, but they don't have the pack of bubblegum, so it is possible that they'll have to head over there.
Let's hope not. This has been a very eraser-full day.
Yeah, this has been a really zoomy seed, and a trip to Stonehenge would really put the brakes on that.
Looks like IQ is finally going to go pick up Pooh here.
I poo. I'm gonna give that pun a like D plus.
I thought I wouldn't call attention to it, but you decided to yourself. So.
I mean, if it's just gonna be complete air silence afterwards, I have to mention that, yeah, that wasn't a great one. Looks like McGurk's having no trouble with Pokey either. Gonna get those very nice shops open.
But will he check them?
I hope so. After all of the haranguing we gave our previous runners for not checking them, I think everyone's just gonna be like, I have to check these shops, or the commentators are gonna make fun of me. Yeah, so OK pendants and hyper beams. Looks like McGurk is prioritizing those OK pendants over the offensive items, so there's a difference in strategy here.
That's probably how I would go too. Those OK pendants are just so clutch in forcing seed.
Yeah, if I was trying to go as fast as possible, like, you know, really trying hard, I think I would do what IQ did and pick up those attack items, get the OK pendants later. But if I was like at all out of it, I would pick the OK pendants up in case I forget about them later.
I got so excited because I thought McGurk was going to buy a pair of dirty socks, but apparently it was a misinput, and now I am.
Aw, that's a shame. There's only one pair of dirty socks per seed. You really should relish it. And that clumsy robot is already down. Looks like they don't have Thunder yet, so IQ opted to use a whole bunch of weak PSI until the shield went down.
Without bottle rockets, I'd say that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, well, bottle rockets are pretty unlikely to hit him, too.
That's true. Bottle rockets are dependent on speed, and Clumsy Robot is a speedy little guy.
Yeah, he's a speedy little... Yeah, that Clumsy Robot is a very annoying enemy. Bombs are really what works best. Well, paralysis is what works best in bombs. We have no idea who has paralysis this seed.
That's true, we've not seen it.
Looks like IQ is going to take up Moonside, which neither of them have done yet, right?
No, not even checked, as far as I know.
Yeah, that's interesting. Moonside tends to be like one of the first things people check when they have foresight access. But they've had so many things to look at.
Do you see that fire start the battle from across the counter?
I saw the fire kind of glitch a bit, but I didn't see exactly how it worked. Oh, that wasn't the fire going across the counter, that was IQ moving while invisible. So, race seeds have fast door transitions enabled by default, and fast door transitions works really well on normal doors, but all the ones that like fade white or do something slightly funky, just have kind of a glitch where Ness can move while invisible for a second.
I've noticed that on the Brick Road rest.
Yeah, all of the hotels and all the fades to white have that glitch. That's why it's not enabled by default, because it's just a little too jank to recommend to new players. Of course, speedrunners will take jank any day if it means they can go fast.
This is true. IQ getting that tech skip.
Very nice. And finding repel sandwiches in the most annoying shop in the game. And like motoring through the Moonside menu, that's kind of impressive.
He really is a Moonsidian. Or maybe he isn't?
The world may never know. I don't know how to answer that. I don't know whether or not I'm in Moonside.
Which Moonside has one of my favorite quotes in the game. In the museum, you never see it in the speedruns.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, do you know whose bones are on display here? Or bones? My bones. Bones is bones. Bone, bone, bone.
Huh. A little creepy, but that is Moonside for you. I like the person who threatens to sharpen you for keeping Moonside quotes.
Yeah, that one's up there.
Like, I don't know what that means, but I don't like it. Bonf, bonf, bonf. The before the spoon gets rusty quote is now going to actually tell you who the boss is.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We got a signed banana, so that is another sanctuary.
And another key item, so that's double the pleasure and double the fun. That's a statement of the great men in PK Scramble.
I didn't know that we were sponsored. And it's really kind of amazing how much we've grown. We have sponsorship. Yeah, if I was like you here, I would definitely be doing that sanctuary immediately. You've got Paula, you need to start burning down sanctuaries. That's a really good one to get to. Yeah,
especially considering he's got 3 sinks already, right? Because he's got Giant Step, he got Key to the Shack. He's got, did they get Carrot Key yet?
I think they did get a Carrot Key somewhere, but that might have been last seed, because we got the Seed Bleed.
I've got the Seed Bleed.
Yeah, they got Milky Well as well, so they have 3 or 4 sanctuaries.
I think it's before the knife gets rusty, we must care for the Manny Manny. Before the soup gets cold, we must care for the Manny Manny.
Yeah, but it can say before the knife gets rusty, we must care for Mr. Carpenter. Before the soup gets cold, we must care for Mr. Carpenter. Except this seed, it wasn't even randomized, so...
Those Repel Sandwiches DX is going to pay off dividends for this sewers run. And he's opting to check the chests, which is pretty interesting. We don't see that a ton.
Yeah, I like that one on the left. The rest of them are a little slow, I think.
And it immediately pays off for IQ, getting a luck capsule.
How lucky. So, we all joke that these Repel sandwiches are stinky, but they work in the sewer. Like, how stinky is it?
I mean, it's pretty stinky. I kind of imagined it was like bait. Like you throw it down and they're all attracted to it. Then you run away from it.
Oh, I see. I've actually been meaning to swap it to attract sandwiches if you have your enemy spawn rate low enough.
That could be interesting.
Yeah, I think that'd be a fun little wrinkle. You would just use it when you want to grind.
Yeah, or when you're where you know caterpillars spawn.
Yeah, like advanced when you want to grind. McGurk is in the Moonside teleport loop, and for everyone wondering where the knife gets rusty, it is the next teleport in the loop from where McGurk is. Oh, IQ's finding Starman Jr., who's usually a total butt because he's resistant to all of the elemental PSI, but they have 2 Starstorm users, so this should just go on really quick.
That's actually a good point Rizakun is making in chat. It's a Reuben made with Tendacrown, the Repel sandwich. That means that the slime should ask us for Repel sandwiches.
Would you give that slime a Repel sandwich so you didn't have to do the fight?
No, probably not.
Yeah.
Does he take your Tendacrown?
No. But if it was Repel sandwich, then I would. Yeah, taking your Tendacrown would just be like, oh, now your seed is bricked. Alright, IQ's pulled up a sank. I missed what the item was, though. Looks like Chargles saw what the item was, and it's go mode. Bubblegum. That's not the best go mode, but it is go mode.
That is true. And I found out that if the enemy at Moonside is a small enough sprite, you can actually slip past them and go back into Jackie's Cafe.
Oof, that would be a small time loss, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oops.
I didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, I actually added that door working for people who get stuck going into Moonside a second time. I must have forgot to lock it on the way out.
Oh, well, you should listen to more Everdread haikus then.
That whole cutscene isn't in the Scramble.
Yeah.
We got a meme entry for IQ. What's it gonna be? Hey, it's not just the letter A. You're learning, IQ. I'm very proud.
Also learning to curry favor with the EBSS meme there.
Yeah, just always be pandering. It's just always good advice.
Andy Perfect says anything not all OOOs is objectively wrong.
I don't know. I like ranting about wherever Tony showed up. Like, Tony, why are you calling me in Stonehenge? And then, you know, you get cut off because it's not that much.
Looks like McGurk's catching up. He also got that luck capsule.
Oh, that's so lucky. So capsule.
Casey Bad Memes, that's a favorite of old Ness Rocker there.
Mm-hmm. Have there not been any full butzes recently?
Yeah, I haven't seen those this tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, there have been some, Rizukin's pointing out. You could also just, like, pick a funny synonym for butts and just write like, keister, keister, keister. Mix it up a bit. Alright, and it is Guardian General for the next Sanctuary Guardian. Ends up with triple HP in one of these slots, and it's not gonna matter, because Guardian General is a joke.
That is true. He needs to do, like, a status effect. Why don't you give him Diamond Eyes or something?
Tornado.
Tornado, there you go.
Using a mummy wrap would also be, like, on theme and actually kind of scary.
Yeah, especially if you get him early with one kid.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd have to, like, go into scaling and not let that happen, because that would just be GG. Rizukun's got the idea. Yep, that Guardian General's taking a little bit. Chargles is saying that apparently this was the 4th Sanctuary logically. So, oh, there you go. Yep, 4th Sanct logically, 3x HP, still not a threat. That silly, silly Guardian.
Even with all the levels that IQ's getting from that Guardian, he's still pretty low level. Under 20 on Paula.
Under 20, yeah. I'm wondering if he's gonna go take some grinding at some point, because it looks like they're not gonna be up to Shield Sigma by the time they get to the Cave of the Past.
Well, the shields are randomized too, aren't they? Or are they not?
That's correct, actually. Yeah, someone's gonna have that shield. Good eye. Yeah, so it'll either be Paula has it, or both Ness and Pooh have it. And then I don't remember who learns what order for shields for Ness and Pooh. It's weird.
I think the only way I know that in a PSI shuffle to tell if it's Pooh's Sigma or Paula's Sigma is that Pooh learns Beta as well as Sigma.
So they'll end up learning them. They'll end up learning them at the same levels that they would learn their vanilla one. And for physical shields, I believe Ness learns Alpha Beta, and Pooh learns Alpha Sigma, or maybe it's the other way around. But they could be having that same pattern, but with PSI shields. Which makes knowing which one learns Sigma much more important. In conclusion, maybe a trip to the status menu is in order when they are preparing to finish this. Yeah, those exit mice might be the... Know more quickly when we're back online.
Slug slinging some horrible slander in the stream chat.
Oh, we're back. Wonderful. And we have mcgurk. This is finding the meme. I wonder if that's his feelings about this seed, which would be kind of surprising. I think he's been doing pretty well. Or just doesn't like that meme and is actually following Tony's advice of dumbest meme you know.
Yeah, and
I am not
great comedic timing there. You said mcgurk's doing really well. Teleport bonk.
I mean, nobody expects there to be police barricades there. My Q is using his own very capsule on who over there. And missing that protoplasm skip. We have a protoplasm skip expert in our commentary today.
That is true. I skip it every time.
There you go. Unless it's demonic petunia.
I skipped that one, but then went back because he looked like he really wanted.
Oh. Yeah, those demonic petunias can really mess with some of the NPC sprites when they end up in those slots. They get stuck on all sorts of things.
Wow, mcgurk turned away from a black swirl to make it into a red swirl.
Whoops. Yeah, everybody messes those up sometimes. And yeah, IQ's just motoring through this, making it look like nothing.
Between the repel sandwiches and those exit mice, I mean, the DXs were a huge find.
Oh, absolutely. And just doing a really good job of, like, hunting down those items and getting them early. Like, when they had that, finished bell space and had the split between 2-side and 4-side, like, IQ just went to the one that gave a bakery and some exit mice. And I'm pretty sure that was just because they're there. mcgurk did exactly what I would have done and prioritized a kid check, so looks like IQ is just a little bit ahead of the meta here.
And it's no surprise if you've been seeing some of his times he put up for the qualifiers and the weekly seeds. IQ is one of the higher runners that we have, the fastest runners.
Yeah, IQ is our #1 seed and put in a sub-hour time on average for the entire qualifier period. So it was 5 weeklies and ended up with not always under an hour, but on average, if you average out how many time it all took, it was less than an hour.
Oh, Winters is 5th sync.
Winters is 5th sync, so they must have missed one. Though that's by the randomizer's logic, which is not always the most logical of logics. And I'm gonna have a spicy trillion sprout here.
Yeah, hopefully there's no diamond eyes.
Yeah, hopefully no diamond eyes, though I think it's pretty likely. They're 4 kids and they're fairly deep.
Here's the reflective shield.
Oof.
Don't know if IQ has the raw equipment to just bash this one out.
Yeah, I don't think so, especially seeing that it's 4th sync. And that was an icky eyes, not an eerie eyes, so Paula is paralyzed, not diamondized. It's Paula, so nobody cares. If Paula's using physical attacks, you're already in trouble.
Looks like he is going for the auto fight.
Is he?
He was, now he's gone to Starstorm.
Looks like, forgetting that there was a PSI shield up there. A very tense fight over here.
And that is true. Black Sesame Seed in the chat points out no one checked Mole Cave. I've been burned by that. I always check Mole Cave now.
Yeah, the Mole Cave could easily lead to whatever the 4th sanctuary is. We'll see if mcgurk ends up going there or also ends up doing 5th. I would take the Tessie ride over Mole Cave, though.
Really? Even with repels?
Yeah, I think so. The Mole Cave just has a lot of walking. And 5 fights. Tessie Ride is only like 50 seconds.
Looks like he is going for that rainy circle. Just a little bit behind IQ, honestly, nipping at his heels.
Yeah, and this is IQ's fourth Sanctuary, so we're having a very speedy seed. I wouldn't be surprised if both of them ended up with sub-hour times. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Black Sesame C, aka Chargles. And IQ is bonking on a cave boy. I tried fixing that thing where you teleport bonk onto enemies that haven't loaded yet, and horribly broke the game.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. I made it so enemies just continue wandering around and functioning normally while you are teleporting, and if you get an encounter while you're teleporting, it does really bad things to the game. Oh, that's right. IQ hasn't done Milky Well yet. Nobody ever does Milky Well until the end.
Yeah, with Saturn Valley just being a teleport away, I mean, I guess it might save some time. I don't know how significant it is, though.
Yeah, the way that it just, like, sequences into that final shop check, it really works out pretty well.
True, yeah.
Yeah, Kaylin's pointing out that, Gygas fight is probably going to be the decider, and I definitely agree on that. They've both found okay pendants, so as long as they have a good game plan going in, they should be able to get it. But it's also one of these really fast seeds where you're going to end up low level and might still have kind of a spicy time.
Yeah, I know IQ's levels are a little low, especially on Paula. I'm not sure how McGurk is looking on the XP front. I did...
I don't know if we are. Just keep talking as if we are still talking.
Sure, yeah, that's probably the best way to go about it.
Yeah, that way we'll be actually talking whenever it comes back on. Hungry HP Sucker, not a great item. Oh, we're back. Thank you, Crimson Green.
So let's get those guesses for the Googie assistant. Tomar said Frank. I say Captain Strong. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I believe we have the Frank fan in chat. We got a Plague Red and a Shroom, popular choices.
Attack select, predictably going with whatever you guess.
I mean, I just always predictably do Frank because then I don't have to think about it. Unless there has been a Frank.
Got a Thunder and Storm guess. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's an uncommon one, and that might just pay off because nobody remembers them. I don't think we've seen Boogie Tent either. Would be another good one.
Boogie Tent.
Frank already seen, then I'm guessing Tent, and I'm getting it wrong.
It is Barf.
It is Barf. I don't think we had any Barfs in chat.
How does that work with the Googie fight? Does Pooh flip out still?
Pooh does not flip out, unfortunately. And Clumsy Robot does not get to the special fell down and get its off switch text either.
And this is one of the rare occasions where having double Starstorm is just not going to help in this fight, because you do not want that reflected back on your party.
And you really don't. I believe they actually have double freeze too. I just haven't been using it. Yeah, there's some freeze back there. Over in the Thunder slot. And the double Starstorm will be useful on Gygus, though I'm not actually sure if the freeze or the Starstorm does more damage on that. And we're on to phase 2 for IQ. McGurk is getting that final sanctuary.
I like the idea from chat that J. Tomar is never wrong, so that's just Frank in a barf suit.
Frank just let himself go. We're getting the most dangerous of the Baby Thunder attacks. It's still not very dangerous.
Yeah, it shouldn't require, should be less thunder damage anyway, because I don't think that Franklin Badge is in this.
Yeah, it isn't. That's why we're getting Baby Thunder.
And unless something happens in this third phase, I think IQ is going to clinch it here.
Yeah, looking like it. There's quite a few status effects going on over there. It looks like a cold from the helper, which really would suggest that we're not very deep into logic. It's just a low-level Googie. I think I called Ring Circle Final Sanctuary for the Dirk and made the exact same mistake twice in the IQ never used a bag of Dragonite. That's gonna disappoint Aurelix if he's in chat.
Oh, he used one in phase 1.
In phase 1, wow.
Yeah. Or I thought he did.
Yeah, that's a bold one.
What, doesn't it hit like fire, so it only hits one row, right?
I believe it's all enemies fire. I could be wrong.
Oh, okay. Maybe he didn't use it then.
It does a lot of damage. Looks like Brain Shock is on Ness. And,
Mortal and Solidified.
Mortal and Solidified. This is gonna be a little bit dicey to pick back up. But
yeah, that's the kind of pepper you can expect from round 3 Gygus. It's just sometimes everybody just kicks the bucket.
Yeah, that's a peppery boy, that Gygus. And it's red pepper, because everything about Gygus is red.
This is true.
Looks like going on 2 kids. Not gonna bother reviving the rest. And yeah, just the standard spam life up alpha, pray every turn. If there's another freeze, I'm wondering if IQ is gonna do the safe thing and stop praying for a turn.
We're about to find out.
Are we? Getting close to the end here. Looks like IQ is probably going to get it. Gygus can always do something absurdly mean and random all the way up to the very last turn, but once you get to that last prayer or two, it's much less likely. Yeah, McGurk knows that IQ is just absurdly fast, though, so,
I think we are having some technical difficulties.
yeah, sure looks like it. Hope that nothing too bad happened over there. But... Alright, Gurk is back, and IQ is finished, so GG IQ. Very impressive showing. That makes IQ the On-It champion in our bracket, and McGurk will be joining the Danger bracket up against... I don't have the bracket open, so I don't actually know.
I'll check, give me 1 sec. Looks like McGurk will fight whoever wins between Attack Slug and Andy, so we'll find out right after this.
Yeah, find out later tonight. Alright, so McGurk's going by super fast. Probably gonna clean out Gygus, no problem. And we can start loading up the next pair of runners, I believe.
I believe so as well. I did want to just comment real quick. I believe IQ has the fastest race turning time at 50 and change.
I think you're right. We've had a little bit slower on average than qualifiers, but this is just a killer time.
I noticed Slug was in the chat. Are you ready to race, Slug? Or do you need...
I bet Slug's always ready to race. Charging Charles in chat asking what the big difference is, and I really think it is that Tucson versus Foreside difference. I think IQ picked up Tucson specifically to pick up those mice and a good chance of repel sandwiches, and that ended up just being the thing.
Yeah, IQ, your routes were pretty similar, to be honest.
Well, they diverged at after Belch Base, doing Foresight versus Tucson.
Yeah, but they each went and did it later on in the seed.
Oh yeah, yeah, they did exactly the same stuff, just transposed the order. Neither of them figured out what that fourth sanctuary is. I think the spoiler log on IQ is just about to tell us, actually. Pencil Racer from Tony. Yeah, that's that is probably not the way that you want to go pick up your fourth sanctuary.
Yeah, I mean, the Eraser was pretty early in the logic, so it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, no thanks.
Yeah, also, the, that would be, you have to walk past the fifth sank to get to the fourth sank, because logic is a little bit drunk.
And it looks like Temple is going to get set up for it.
Alright, well, I will keep you company until they're done, and I'm going to be joining in chat. We have Ness Rocker continuing on commentary, and I believe you're being joined by mcmcgurk. Is that right? No, it's Crimson Green.
Crimson Green, it looks like.
Yeah. I always get those two confused, even though I have no good reason to.
Speak of the devil, hello, Crimson Green.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, welcome to the call. Looking forward to the next race?
Oh yeah, this should be a good one.
Yeah, these are really good runners that we have coming up, and both of their names start with an A.
Pack Slug and Andy Perfect.
That's great.
The second half of the doubleheader. Let's go.
Second half of another doubleheader. We've had two of these in a row. A double-double.
A double-double.
Double-double.
Alright, 50-44 in-game time for IQ. Very nice. but I do not think that any of his kids brush their teeth.
Uh-oh, that's a problem.
That is a problem. They're all gonna turn into zombies.
That's what happens.
Yeah, brush your teeth, kids. You'll turn into a zombie.